Hi, hello those. How are you? How is your preparation? So, last video we discussed about the RRB paramedical date. So, Railway Recruitment Board has decided the date of RRB. You know that, right? April 28th, right? So, 2025 is the examination date. So, you should be ready. I hope so. And here we start our train RRB paramedical. So, in this RRB paramedical train, daily we discuss the 10 MCQs which is very similar for the all 20 different courses, right? So these all 20 courses, the fundamental subject which is called as a anatomy and physiology. For all paramedical, right, so post, this anatomy and physiology is very basic and fundamental subjects, and they should ask the question from the anatomy and physiology. So today in our day one train, we start to discuss about the 10 MCQs of the anatomy and physiology. So I hope so, right, you are the ready, and I am also ready to store this MCQs. So before to store the MCQs, just to remember, please to subscribe and share and like. So here these classes are very helpful for the preparation of the RRB. So don't wait and waste your time. Let me start the first MCQs of today train day 1 daily 10 MCQs of class. So first we start the MCQs number 1. So here the MCQs question is asking like this. Here in this train the question is asking the blood contain dash percentage of a water. So this is very fundamental question of the anatomy and physiology here. So the question is that the blood contain, right, dash percentage of water. There is a different options they given. So option number 1 90%, option number 2 80%, option number 3 95%, option number 4 60% of water, 60% of water. Here hope so which one is the right answer. Please to write, please to start the writer giving the answer, and please to start give the answer. And I hope so you are giving the answer, right? What exactly answer you are expecting? So blood containing how much percentage of water? So in your human body, you know that human body, so most important element of the human body, most important nutrient of the human body is the blood. You know that because of blood can carries the richest nutrient on all supplementations which are required to the body, so including of the gases, nutrient, and other substance also carried by the blood. In this blood, the mostly what is the percentage of your water? So here the most common percentage of your water in the blood, you know that 90%. Remember this. So blood consists of 90% of water. That is very important to remember. Blood consists of 90% of water. We can see this. And one more discussion we have to go for this, right? So one more discussion in next question, we can go with that, right? So in this question, the blood containing approximately 90% of water, 90% of water. So in that we can divide how it is, right? Approximately 90% of water blood is contained. So let me go with the next question. What exactly the next question? So here the similar question, right? Hematology similar question. Here they are asking which of these right, so composition or compress of blood. So here we can see the compress of the blood. So what blood containing here, right? So here option given that, right? So RBC red blood cells and WBC white blood cells and platelet and plasma. What exactly? And option D is all of the above. Which is the right answer? Which is the right answer? Please start to give the answer, right? Which is the right answer of these four options? Which of these compress of the blood? What exactly the blood is consist of? So blood consists of here there is a two different portions we can classify the blood. One portion which is called as a watery portion called as a plasma. So another portion which is called as a cellular portion, that is called as a here blood elements, blood cells. Here there is a three types of blood cells. You know well those, right? So there is a three types of blood cells which are composing of this element. At RBC and a WBC, and one more is a platelet, right? A platelet. So these three or the right blood cells which is component, which is the component, right? Here we can see that the plasma also, right, that is one of the, right, a fluid portion, and a fluid portion which you call as a plasma. Here in this plasma, 92% of water and 8% of other substance. In that 7% which is called as a protein substances and other gases and other elements which is called as a only 1%. So this is about the plasma composition. So here in the blood there is a two properties we are classifying. Number one, which is called as a fluid property called as a plasma. Another one is called as a blood elements. Blood elements which is called as a blood cells. Blood cells are three types. Blood cells are three types. Most abundant blood cell called as a RBC. Most abundant means in whole portion of blood elements, the richest and abundant portion which is called as a RBC. RBC, which consists of approximately 45 percentage. So which consists of 45 percentage of whole blood, which is called as a RBC, and 1% which is called as a WBC and platelet. So in blood elements, so here there is a 1% of WBC and platelets, but in blood elements, the most abundant element which is called as the RBC, 45%, right? In the plasma, most abundant element in the plasma, called as a water, and there is a other elements or 8% in that also, right? So 7% of blood protein, 7% of blood protein. Blood proteins again three types, you know well, right? Right? Most abundant albumin, then one more blood protein called as a globulin, and one more blood protein called as a fibrinogen. These three which is called as a blood proteins. So blood proteins are three types: albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. Here we can see that this is the composition of the blood. Remember those, this is the composition of the blood. Hope so, right? So here the answer is, so which are those composed compress of the blood? We can give the direct answer, that is all of the above, because of, right, in the whole blood plasma percentage is 55 and other elements like RBC, WBC and platelet percentage is 45. This is about the percentage of a blood component. Remember those, in the blood component plasma is a 55% and blood elements are the 45%. Blood elements are right, RBC, WBC and platelet, and plasma composing of right, 92% of the water and 8% of the other substance. In that 7% proteins, blood proteins, there are three types of blood proteins. One is called as a albumin, another one is called as a globulin, another one is called as a fibrinogen, and other substances like a nutrient and gases and drug and other substances which is only 1%. So this is exactly the fact about the blood and blood component. Those, so hope so you got the answer, right? So there is a, all of the above is the right answer in this question. Let's go with that. Next, third question here in the platform number, right? So in the platform of the train, the third question is the normal cholesterol level. Normal cholesterol level is what exactly the normal cholesterol level? Here we can see normal cholesterol level. You know this, right? You know this, right? So cholesterol, which is synthesis by liver. Cholesterol factory called as a liver. Cholesterol is synthesis from our own body element, own body organ called as a liver. So cholesterol synthesis by the liver. So this cholesterol normal, and again we have to take the cholesterol in the form of the food, various fatty foods which containing the cholesterol. The question is average in the human body, average cholesterol level in the human body, average cholesterol level. What you are expecting? What you are expecting in your right human body? Right, in your human body, what exactly the average cholesterol level we can expect? Right, write down in the comment. Write down in the comment fastly. Firstly, give your answer, which is the right answer. 100 to 150 mg per deciliter, 150 to 200 mg per deciliter, 200 to 250 mg per deciliter, and 250 to 300 mg per deciliter. Which is the right answer? Which is the right answer? Hope so you know well about this. Normal cholesterol level in the human body, that is a 150 to 200 mg. So here the average cholesterol of the human body is 150 to 200 mg. Those you know well about this. So cholesterol is a 150 to 200 mg, 200 mg. That is very important. So if it is the LDL, when we call as a bad cholesterol, LDL is a bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol, you know well, right? LDL which is called as a bad cholesterol above 150. Above 150, that is called as a LDL, is a bad cholesterol. And you know well about the HDL, which is called as a good cholesterol, which is called as a good cholesterol. This also you know well about those, right? So HDL is a good cholesterol. The average is a HDL. We can able to see that average is a, right? So average is a 40, right? In men, if you have to go with that female, that can be the 50 in the female, right? This is average of the HDL, average of the HDL, and average of the LDL, and average of the cholesterol. So they may ask the question from the cholesterol profile. You just to remember what exactly the cholesterol of the human body, what we call as the LDL, what we call as the HDL, which is the good cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, what is the average values of all these parameters. That is very important to remember. Next we have to go with this, right? Next we have to go with this. The question is the question is from the reproductive system. The wall of uterus or except, the question is in the negative form. The question is in negative form. The question is a wall of the uterus or except. Let me eliminate the wall of the uterus. Uterus consists of 3 types of layers. You know well about this. So which is the outer layer called as a perimetrium, and the middle layer which is called as a myometrium, and inner layer which is called as a endometrium. So the uterus, it's a medical term of metrium. So here the uterus wall we call as a metrium. There is a 3 types of the metrium we can see. So outer layer which is called as a perimetrium, middle layer which is called as a myometrium, and inner layer which is called as a endometrium. This endometrium, especially in the females, shedding layer, shedding and regenerating layer. Myometrium, you know, the contraction and relaxing layer, and perimetrium, protecting layer. So perimetrium is protecting layer, myometrium is contraction and relaxing layer, and endometrium, which is called as a shedding layer. In the menses, during the delivery, this layer is shedding. You know about this, right? So these 3 are the layers of a uterus in female reproductive. So this is what exactly the question here, the wall of the uterus or except. So there is a layer of a perimetrium. Yes, we have the outer layer perimetrium, and myometrium, right? Yes, right, there is a layer of myometrium, middle layer, and endocardium. Cardium is related to heart. So here this is not right. So right, and here we can see that endometrium, yes, this is a inner layer. The question is in the except. That's what we can eliminate the option. So here eliminated, there is the option of myometrium which is related to the uterus, and myometrium related to the uterus, perimetrium related to the uterus, and endometrium related to the uterus. Here endocardium, inner layer of heart, inner layer of heart. So this is what the question answer. So endocardium is a related to the heart layer, not related to the uterus. That's what here in the except question, the answer is a endocardium. Hope so you got the answer. Then we have to go with the next question. What exactly the next question they're asking? They're asking the question related to the diaphragm. You know well about this dome shape organ of diaphragm, right? This diaphragm is a muscular organ which has to separate the 2 major cavities of thoracic and abdomen. You know well, right? So if you have to check this, diaphragm is a which type of organ they are asking, right? Diaphragm is a bony organ? No, diaphragm is not a bony organ. Diaphragm is a body cavity? No, it separates the body cavities. Diaphragm is a muscular organ, separate the body cavities of, one is a thoracic, right? And another one is a abdomen. So another one is a abdomen. Here the thoracic and abdominal cavities are separated by a muscular organ called as a diaphragm. So is this the blood vessel? No, It's a body cavity? No. It's a bone? No. It's a muscular organ which help for the respiration. Major organ of respiration. Major muscle of respiration. Respiration, major muscle. This is also one type of question they should ask related to the diaphragm. Diaphragm is controlled by the nerve which is called as a phrenic nerve. You know that, right? So phrenic nerve which has to control the respiration pattern, right, of a respiratory system. Here we can able to see this phrenic nerve which has to control the respiration pattern, right? This nerve controlling the muscle called as a diaphragm. So here you know that, right? A major respiration muscle called as a diaphragm is a muscular organ. It's a muscular organ. So those they should ask the question, diaphragm is a which type of organ? It's a muscular organ. Very simple to understand. Let me go with the next question. Let me go with the next question. Enzyme heparin and histamine are secreted by, you know this, right? These two are the special enzymes which are releasing in specific condition. Like I just to explain one by one, right? First enzyme heparin. Heparin is specifically releasing during the blood clotting. So heparin which has to related to the blood clotting factor, right? Here this enzyme of the heparin which prevent the blood clotting. And one more enzyme we can see that called as a histamine. Histamine is the enzyme especially releasing during the allergic and inflammatory. So during the allergic and inflammation process, there is a enzyme has releasing called as a histamine. So these two are the enzymes released by the mast cells. Those remember this. So these two are the specific enzymes, heparin which are related to the blood clotting and histamine which are related to the allergic and inflammatory process. These two enzymes are released by the mast cells. That is very important. Mast cell is one of the inflammatory, allergic and blood clotting related cells which is reacted in the body, right? So when the foreign body reactions is processing or any inflammatory reaction in processing in the body, this mast cell is one of the reacting cells which releasing the enzyme of heparin and histamine. That is very important to remember this. The enzyme heparin and histamines are secreted by a mast cell. That is very important to remember this. Then if you have to go with the next question, so there is a question which is very simple of this question, right? So here the penna of the ear is formed by, ear penna is formed by, is this a bony structure? See, this is what exactly called as a ear penna. Ear penna is formed by what exactly this structured? So bony structure or a hyaline cartilage structure or elastic cartilage structure or lymphoid tissue, right? What exactly you were saying the right answer? What exactly your answer? So you know well about this. This is not a hard structure, so that's what it's not a bony structure. So this is not a hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, you know well about the hyaline cartilage. The best example of the hyaline cartilage is called as a larynx, which is called as a voice box that consists of a hyaline cartilage. This can called as a elastic cartilage. Ear penna is a elastic cartilage. So ear penna can formed by the as bony structured, partially bony structured called as a elastic cartilage. This is what exactly the answer. So penna of the ear is formed by the elastic cartilage. Very simple question related to the anatomy and physiology. Let me go with the next step. Let me go with the next question. The question is very simple. Antigen or, so which we called as a antigen, substance that destroy the antibody? No, it cannot be destroyed. Substance that stimulate the production of antibody? Exactly, right? So and substance that provide the immunity? No. And a substance which are used for the sterilization? No. Here antibodies are not useful for the sterilization. Antibodies are not providing the, right? So antigens are not providing the immunity. Antigens are, right, helping for the stimulating of the antibodies. See in this picture I just show you what exactly this. See here this structure, Y structure, which is called as a antibody. This antibody bonding by this right, a foreign substance with the help of a antigen. So this structure, right, which is easily to freeze the antibody, that is called as a antigen. Here one more structure we can able to see, that is a specific pathogenic structure, that one, right. So here we can able to see all this, all these structures here. The question is very simple, they are asking. The question is antigen, what exactly you can define? So antigen, we can able to define that a substance that stimulate production of antibody. This is what exactly the right answer. Here we can able to see that antigen is always stimulate the antibodies. In similar of this, we can go with that one more question, which is very similar of that. Antibodies, which we call as the antibodies, substance that produce against the antigen, right? Disease producing agent. These are the type of bacteria. Substance that produce the pathogen, no. Antibodies are substance that produce against the antigen. This is what the right answer. So ninth question is very simple. They are asked antibodies, which we call as the antibodies. Those antibodies, very simply we define that substance producing against the antigen. So if any substance, right, so which produce against the antigen, that considered as the antibody. So antibody is always stimulated by the antigen, and antigen, right, which reacted by the antibody. This is what exactly the right. So AB and AG, antigen and antibody reaction, you know well. And next, if you have to go with the next last question of this, right, so day one platform of RRB paramedical train, that is called as a phagocytosis is made by the, right, so mainly done by phagocytosis is mainly done by, so which is the process of phagocytosis here, right. So in this there is a different type of cells given that, right. RBC cell which is related to the phagocytosis, no. RBC not a, right, defensive. RBC is a transportive cell. RBC is always a transporter, it's not a defensor, right. And here defensive cell which is called as a WBC. WBC is a defensive cell, so it acts as a phagocytosis reaction. Here in the cytosis reaction, we can see that, right, a phagocyte is nothing but here, which means cell engulf. So cell engulf reaction, which is called as a phagocytosis here. In this WBC, when the foreign substance is enter into the body, so either the bacterium or any other substance enter into the body, this WBC cell that engulf the substance and releasing the, right, lysosomes which destroy the toxicity and releasing the, right, so debris elements in exocytosis mechanism. This process called as a phagocytosis. So phagocytosis mainly done by the WBC cells. You just remember this. Phagocytosis is mainly, right, so done by the WBC cells, right. Platelet cells, you know well about the platelet cells. These are helping for the clotting. So platelet cells are helping for the clotting, and RBC cells are helping for the transport, and only the cell which has act as a defensive, called as a defensive cell, that is called as a WBC. WBC is always a defensive cell. So nephron, you know well, right, fundamental functional unit of the kidney, which is called as a nephron. So this is what exactly that day 1 10 MCQs. Hope you understood this 10 MCQs. And if you want a specific subjects, means nursing subjects, you can visit the Nidhya Medical Academy app. For the lab technician also, you can visit the Nidhya Medical Academy app. There is a specific courses and in-depth of knowledge you can able to download, and you can able to visit the Nidhya Medical app to get the detail of all depth of this knowledge you can able to post, right. Thank you for watching of this video, and like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to, right, so add our friends to watch this video. Thank you. Take care.